当你在回 email 的时候 Do you still say sorry for the delay? 我们的心态跟地位跟我们用的语言息息相关。那让今天我们来探索霸气的语言。Hello， 欢迎来到 Executive Plus 主管与沟通力的 Podcast。I'm Sherry, an educator, certified coach, and style enthusiast. 我相信专业有效的沟通是语言跟逻辑的完美结合。
And I'm Nick, a startup consultant, corporate trainer, and late-night gaming junkie. I believe great communication requires the right mindset and solid frameworks.
我们希望带给大家职场英语的技能、跨文化沟通技巧与其他能帮助您成为出色领导者的工具。
Join us each week as we share our experience, research, and methodologies to take your communication and language skills from good to great. Hey everybody, welcome back to the Executive Plus podcast. You've heard our episodes on downgraders and hedging language, but removing them from the way we talk and the way we write is often harder than we hope. In this episode, we're going to share 9 things that often pop up in our email, but there are just better ways to phrase it. You'll even find a few things that I myself catch myself doing all the time.
没错，那我觉得在这一个单元呢，我最主要想要带给大家一个不同的想法，也就是当你用什么样的语言，其实代表着你的这个心态。那我们今天想的是主管嘛，那当主管当然要有主管的那种霸气的感觉 right? So what we say needs to reflect how we feel as an executive.
Whether it's cultural or just in your own personality, we often catch ourselves writing things in emails that are overly apologetic or come across in a way that is lowering your position. But as Sherry says, sometimes you just need to email like a boss.
That's right. 那我其实是看到一个 Instagram， 我 follow 一个 Instagram account， 它叫做 @financialsimplified. So you guys can check it out. 那它其中一个 post 就是写Email like a boss. 那我觉得这个非常适合我们的一个 topic， 因为我觉得啊，有的时候我们可能会觉得第二个语言是英文嘛 I don't feel that comfortable with the language, so I'm a little sorry. 或者是让人家等了多1个小时 I feel so sorry. 所以你很容易就会进入那种 hedging, 然后 overly apologetic 像那样子的语言。尤其是第一个，当你让人家等待了一些时间，很容易的我们就会讲Sorry for the delay.
Sorry for the delay is actually something even I write all the time. And I think about it, and there's a lot of times like, I'm not sorry. Like maybe you made a last minute change and then I'm adjusting. So why am I apologizing? So the better phrase, and I completely agree with this, is thanks for your patience, right? There's no need to apologize or be sorry unless like you took a month to get back to them or something. But if it's just like it's within a reasonable amount of time, you don't need to be overly apologetic. Just very simply, thanks for your patience.
Yeah, absolutely. And a lot of times, even for me, it took me probably a day to reply and I still wrote sorry for the delay. 这种东西就是很习惯的用法. So let's change that. Let's reframe that. Thanks for your patience.
And even if you want to get a little more formal, you can say, I appreciate your patience.
All right, the next one. Now, everyone is very busy, right? 我们都很忙碌，我们都有很多的 meeting, lots of things to do. My schedule matters. Instead of saying, what works best for you? 我们可以说, could you do 3 o'clock tomorrow?
I remember a good while back, we had a conversation with Andrew about someone just sending him a Calendly link, right? That's the extreme for this, but when it comes to being efficient with scheduling, it's not necessarily to always bow to the other side. Like, oh, what times would work best for you? And then they email you back a bunch of times, and then you're like, well, I can't do any of these. How about these times? So just getting in front of that and checking your own schedule, figuring out some good quality discussion times, and just simply, could you do, and then offer a schedule.
Yeah, absolutely. 因为你如果讲 what works best for you, 你整个就是 open up so many different possibilities. 那如果他讲的时间正好你都不行呢, right? It's a little awkward. So just give options. You know, could you do this and this? So I think a little reframing really helps.
All right. let's jump into the next one, which is just saying you're welcome. But there's something that I see in email quite often that at best should be reserved for text message or online messaging.
Yeah.
And when someone wants to say you're welcome, they'll say no problem or no worries.
通常如果我们帮人家做一点小事情，或者是人家需要赶这个报告 and then we help them out. So they say, oh, thank you. And then we said, no worries, no problem, which is fine. 这个没有问题。Again, 但如果你 reframe 一下 email like a boss, 你就可以讲 always happy to help.
Right. Even as a boss, you want to feel a little more personable, a little more friendly. But in an email situation, it still is more formal than a text message. You want to send a message that says, oh, no problem, no worries. That's one thing. But definitely in a more formal sense, or when you're trying to show, I'm a boss, I'm a manager.
Yeah.
Always happy to help is a better way to go.
Now, the next scenario is, I know what I'm doing. 我知道我的能力在哪里。So instead of saying, I think maybe we should, 你这个地方就可以听到很多之前我们讲的 hedging language, right? I think, maybe, we should. There's like 3 hedging language
Yeah, right
in here.
within that sentence. Like, possibly, could you think about maybe doing this?
I was wondering if it's okay that you could do this.
But when bringing back that authority or the respect because you have the expertise, you have the experience, just simply phrasing as, it would be best if we this.
Exactly. 直接讲说我offer the solution 是什么 It would be best if we do this or if we have a meeting tomorrow instead.
The next one is a little bit difficult to grasp, but it would be the idea that if something is taking you a long time to process, how do you explain it to the other side? So oftentimes people, either as a delaying tactic or to describe how hard it is, they'll be like, oh, I've been rewriting this email for 40 minutes to get it just right. Or they'll get into this explanation mode. But this is one of those things where it's probably true. You can turn around and go, it'd be easier to discuss this in person.
没错，我觉得对我来讲，这个就是解释的很多，其实人家也会搞不太清楚 What's your point? I think just getting to the point is what makes you sound like a boss, right? 就是很直接的 Let's discuss this in person.
Yeah, instead of going into explanation mode, just tell them what you want, get to the next step.
All right, the next one. Do you get it? 如果你想要了解对方是不是很了解你刚刚在讲什么的话 And I do this a lot. Hopefully that makes sense. For me, I think the underlying reason behind that is 你觉得自己 doesn't make sense, right? You feel a little insecure with what you said. That's why you're asking, you're confirming if it makes sense to you. 但是 again, 如果我们想要 we are the boss and we know what we're doing, just say, let me know if you have any questions.
Yes, this definitely happens. I mean, Sherry and I have talked a lot about clarification and double checking over the years, but how you phrase that also matters. So if you're like, hopefully that makes sense, or could you let me know if this makes sense to you, may downplay what you're actually trying to say a little bit because you're questioning the validity of it. But a simple rephrase is, let me know if you have any questions.
So the next one, 当我们要确认到底我们现在 progress 到哪里了 right? Where the heck are we on this? Or where the heck are we on this project? 有的时候你会讲说 Oh, I just wanted to check in. Again, just wanted to check in. 它感觉上是比较有一点不好意思的那种感觉，好像你在 bother 人家。But as a boss, just go, when can I expect an update on this?
This one I will push back a little bit on. While I agree internally, it does help to be a little more forward. Like, when can I expect an update? Or please let me know where we are on this matter. However, I just wanted to check in a lot, usually when talking to clients. Because, for example, if we're invoicing or if we're waiting on a piece of information from them, you don't want to rudely be like, when can I expect to get paid?
Exactly. We want to.
Yeah, we want to. But in order to, maintain a more amiable relationship, I'll often just say like, hey, I just wanted to check in if you had any questions about the invoice I sent. I'm still bringing it up, but I'm not being like, yeah, you're going to have to pay. To be honest, maybe that's wrong and people in sales positions will disagree with me, but that's where I would push back from their advice a little bit.
这个的部分呢，我觉得可能跟文化稍微有一点关系，所以还是请大家观察一下。但我们比较基本上，如果你是对下的话 ，manage down， or 可能是跟同事之间，而且你们已经来来回回很多次了，你真的很需要一个 update 的话 ，I think it's okay to say when can I expect an update on this。但是如果你是跟客户的话，甚至是跟老板吧，或者是一些比较的 relationship that's still observing， 那我觉得 just wanted to check in to see where we are. I don't think there's anything wrong with that.
The next piece of advice is, what do you write when you've made a small error that they have caught and pointed out to you? Right? If we're trying to be humble or we're just trying to be friendly, we might be like, oh, yeah, my bad. Totally missed that.
这个我觉得又有点跟文化上面是有点关系的。可能对大部分人来讲 if we made a mistake, 我们犯了一点小错误，人家抓到这个错误的话 of course we feel bad, right? Because we want to make sure that we're very professional. 那很 direct 一个回应就是 oh, I'm so sorry, my bad, I totally missed it. 但是如果呢，今天这个错误，我觉得是看这个错误到底是 how bad is the mistake. If it's just like a teeny tiny one and it doesn't really affect a lot of things, then it's okay to just say, thanks for letting me know.
Yeah, this is something that I catch myself doing as well. And I really like this piece of advice because just turning around and say like, thanks for letting me know, updating it now. It just shows that action, but without getting overly, because again, it could be like a small grammar mistake or it could just be like something got deleted while you were copying
just
it
like
over.
Typo.
Yeah, it didn't break anything. So getting like, oh, I'm so sorry. Because then what happens if you make a big mistake? Like how apologetic do you need to get, right?
Yeah.
So straightforward. Thanks for letting me know is enough. All right. The last one for this list. Just describing I have an appointment after. Actually, this technique beyond just language is a great thing to use in order to truncate or shorten a meeting where you know the other side has a tendency to show up late or the other tendency to talk for a very long time. So rather than saying something like, could I possibly leave early?
Yeah, if they say no, you
can't.
can't.
Be like, what are they in? No. Be like, I have an appointment at 4. It's okay if I leave early? Just more straightforward. I will need to leave at this time, and ideally for this reason. So if someone's going long, etc., and I've seen this happen in meeting with a lot of managers, they'll be like, I have another appointment at 5. I'm going to need to go 30 minutes before that. So what do we need to accomplish before then?
Absolutely. 我觉得这个非常的重要，因为太多的时候我们真的会觉得说 I'm so sorry, 我不应该早点离开这个会议 But again, you're busy, right? 大家有非常多的 meeting. So just right off the bat, 一刚开始你就可以跟人家说 I will need to leave for another meeting at 3 o'clock. Okay? 那我记得我在做 sales 的时候，那个时候我的 manager 就一直提醒我，当我接起电话客户打电话进来的时候，但是你现在店里面也有别的客人的时候，你不用等他讲，你也不用跟他讲说 Oh, is it okay if I call you back in like 10 minutes? Don't say that. 直接就跟他讲说 I will call you back in 10 minutes and please leave your phone number. So I think that's the same thing here, right? 因为当你讲 Oh, is it okay? 那如果人家 not okay, 那怎么办呢？ So just be more authoritative in the situation. 但其实大部分的人都可以了解。
Right, because you don't want to get into that debate. Be like, no, it's just going to take a second. Just going to, it's fine. You can just, tell the other person.
Yeah, like 10 minutes. What about 5 minutes?
Yeah, but then if you're just very straightforward, be like, listen, I'm going to need to call you back in 10 minutes. Please leave your phone number. And in this case, it's like, I'm going to need to leave before 4 so that I can make other appointment. There's no room for negotiation in this statement.
Yeah.
Well, that is our list. Let us know what you think is the most important thing or the one that you catch yourself doing in your email the most often. We'll talk to you guys next time.
Bye.
Bye.
The Executive Plus podcast is a Presentality Group production. Produced and hosted by Sherry Fang and Nick Howard. You can search us on Facebook, 主管英文 Executive Plus. You can also find us on Instagram, Communication R&D, and email us at sherry@epstyleplus.com.